So my friend is watching online and says it's sideways even if she turns her iPad.
Huh. Okay, thank you.
Testing, testing.
Anyone else?
I
You
asked
know, it's
for it.
always great to be able to say that word and then really hear something. So we know that that everyone can hear us. So welcome to the 5th annual George Floyd Community Engagement and Building Bridges Symposium. So I'm honored to have each and every one of you take a moment out of your Sunday and participate with us. This day is a bittersweet day because something that happened that caused us to celebrate on this level and memorialize on this level was actually very hurtful. I'm sure you all probably remember that day, May 25th, 2020, when an individual was literally incoming Scud missile murdered on TV. Everyone saw it. Community, neighbors, cities, states, our nation, and international audience saw that day. This is a celebration, but I never want us to forget that day and what brought about that occurrence. Because what it actually did is inspired a world of people to say enough and that we can do things different. Do you agree? Yes? And if you're clapping, it's just simply to acknowledge the fact that that is a reality that we all need to decide that we're going to participate in. Everyone's life is valuable. No one should feel fear when they see law enforcement agents, police, peace officers, public safety people doing their job. Shouldn't be fearful of that because they work for you in communities. And law enforcement should not have to feel that they're not respected by those that they are serving. They are first responders. And usually when a first responder is entering into a situation, it's normally because there's something happening that may not be safe. Normally. But at the end of the day, there's a way to do it. There's a way to process that experience and not have it cause you to lose your life. So what I'm doing is keeping it real. When I talk to people, and I have worldwide and nationwide and many, many police departments and such, I always say, can we keep it real? And when I'm talking to the youth, I say the same thing, can we keep it real? Keeping it real is being honest about the situation that we're dealing with. So with that in mind, I wanted to welcome you for coming and being here. We have a number of other people in line that'll be coming in a moment, and I'm gonna let them do that because they have a table and they've come a far distance, and want to make sure that they hear what we are going to be saying as well. So on that note, I want to have you take a look at your program book and see the order of the day. And I want to do something that I normally always do at each one of these. This is the 5th annual, is to have Pastor Victor Phillips come up and do the invocation. Pastor Phillips, can we give him a hand? He's one of our people that are working with us in the community. He's a stakeholder in the community, working with me with students from CSUMB, Cardinal, MPC, and such. And we're doing a lot of work in the community on an outreach level through the NAACP. So he's also, and if in front of you, there's a blue page stage on the table. We will be, I've asked him, I don't know if you've ever heard him sing, he's a wonderful singer. We are going to sing Lift Every Voice and Sing. This is a very important federal national anthem for the African American community. And I'd love you to be able to take those home with you and listen to the words as we all sing. Thank you, Pastor.
Good afternoon, everyone. Now that's kind of sorry. Y'all could do better than that. I'm gonna have to put on my deep voice if y'all. It's good to be here, amen? Amen. Would you bow your heads with me for a moment of prayer? Most gracious God, our Father, we are so grateful for your blessings and your mercies toward us. We're thankful, God, that you have brought us together again for fellowship. We're thankful for this venue. And Father, even though it was a tragic situation, we're thankful for the life of George Floyd. We pray, oh God, that you bless this gathering. Let your mercy and your love overshadow us, oh God. Let everything be done with love and grace. And this I pray in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. You all want to stand with me now to sing the national anthem. Lift every voice and sing. I know there are better singers than me in here. We'll just do 2 stanzas of Lift Every Voice. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark path has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun, let us march on till victory is won. Stony the road we trod, bitter the chastening rod, felt in the days when hope unborn had died, yet with a steady beat have not our weary feet come to the place for which our Father sighed. We have come over a way where the tears have been watered. We have come treading our path of the blood of the slaughtered. Out of the gloomy past, till now we stand at last, where the white gleam of our bright star is past. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and it's the professor and teacher in me that likes to say, please take that with you home. Maybe take it into your classrooms. I know we have a number of students here, and it's all about education. Each one of those words represents the experience that our community, our culture has gone through. So can we welcome and give a hand clap to this group coming in. They came all the way from our Castroville and North County Ambassadors Program. You can on in. Thank you, GM Lopez, for driving everybody over. Rosie, Ray Torres, appreciate this. Now, we're going to do something that we've done every year. It's been special because it's important, about our land that we walk on, that we live in every day. Mayor, one of my very good friends, Mayor Marianne Carbone, the mayor of Sand City, is going to come up and bless our world and our earth. Would you please come up, Ray? Let's give her a hand, please.
Haku haku, lau wash washats. K matita Marianne Carbone, Kashan Chumash, Kislak. Watslik nu a kum Seaside, oil. Hello and good afternoon. My name, as you heard, is Marianne Carbone. I am happy to be here, grateful to be here today in my hometown of Seaside. My family grew up down the street where Laguna Park is, and so 415 Francis Street, the street that was named after my mother when before I think Seaside even became a city. I am of Chumash descent and from the Channel Island area, so the island of Lamu, and the ancient village of Sokanoknu near north of San Ynez. My ancestors migrated up the coast hundreds of years ago to live amongst the Esalen, Costanoan, and Ohlone people for generations. I'm Sand City's first woman Indigenous mayor. And I today gratefully thank my good friend Jacqueline Simon for the invitation to join you all here today. At this time, I wish to acknowledge the first people of the land and their ancestors. They inhabited and cared for this land for eons. And I ask whenever you have a moment, or if you're just at work or seeing the sunrise or the sunset, just to acknowledge these people and remember them, that these lands were never ceded, but rather taken through violence, force, enslavement, and separation of families. I think that some people feel this here, and so different people of colors have maybe felt the same way. These past actions had caused many Indigenous people to experience generational trauma rooted in historical events such as genocide and slavery. This trauma has been passed down across generations and continues to affect the health and emotional well-being of Indigenous people and many other communities today. Today, I pray that more cities are welcoming, as seen here today, and equitably meet the needs of all their constituents. I envision communities where Indigenous knowledge, perspectives, and sovereignty are respected, and where people of color can feel safe again. Recognizing that the challenges they face are complex and rooted in centuries of systemic racism, we have the chance to repair relationships and to start addressing these inequities, as you see here. And that time is now. Let us continue on this roadmap to repair towards healing and compassion for all those who have been wronged. As we journey together through this circle of life, I offer these blessings to honor Creator, Mother Earth, the ancestors, and the four directions. I'd like to go ahead and say a prayer in my Chumash dialect of Samala language. Ke alasal, our prayer. Kinono he alape, kuki kukil unku. Una alawe ka alasal. Ka'oxhiel Alape, Ka'oxhiel Shu, Ka'oxhiel Swatman, Kilikil Alape, Kilikil Shu, Kilikil Swatman, Kilikil Unko, Ka'hampak A Alasa. In English, our grandfather above, you see me and you see the people. You bring the moon, the star, and the sky, the stars in the sky. We love the sky, the water, the oceans, the land. You watch over the ocean, you watch over the heavens, and you watch over the people. We believe and so we pray. I just would like to thank everyone for being here, and may Creator bless each and every one of you here today and guide you with open hearts and knowledge for what you're about to receive here. And on a personal note, this is the George Floyd Forum Symposium. I recall my daughter who lived in, she was in Minnesota, going to school at the time when the incident happened with George Floyd. And it was sheer terror, the feeling that she felt. She was in going to medical school there, finishing up, becoming a doctor. And she called me and told me over the phone, Mom, she said, it's crazy here what's happened. The city's in, it's crazy. There's fires, the people are, everyone is upset. And just the fear, and even for myself, not being here in California, and for what my daughter was going through, as well as all the people in Minneapolis area. It will never be forgotten. And may this, be a lesson and a memory for all those in George Floyd's name. Thank you.
Thank you, Marianne Carbone, truly a leader in our community, and literally has always just been such a wonderful friend to me, just especially during that time, and in the efforts of helping people help people. Something I learned from my parents at a young age, and saw how it made people happy. You and I talked about our parents. So thank you. Another hand, please. I'm getting over a sore throat. My voice is normally this deep, but I still know that today is an important day. Let me start by saying we have a lot of wonderful people. All of you are dignitaries to me. And we have a table of dignitaries that is taking time out of their Sunday to come and be a part of us and share their information, experience, and how we are all working together for the greater good. And I see another person that just came in as dignitary. Let's go ahead and have Councilmember Pacheco, would you come on up and have a seat here at the table. Let's give him a hand. City of Seaside. So we have Marianne Carbone, we've already acknowledged. We have Yvonne Thomas, community leader. Anyone that graduated from USC is just really cool. Anyway, former broadcaster, journalist, etc. Thank you, Yvonne. She's been here 5 years since its inception. That means so much to me. And wait till you hear her words. Speaking truth to power. We have next a good friend out of our local Jimmy Panetta, Congressman Panetta's office, director. Information on everyone is in our directory here. But I just want to say thank you for the 5 years that you've worked with us in this effort. And when Jimmy is back in Washington fighting the good fight, the John R. Lewis good fight, he always sends someone wonderful to represent us. So please, Erin Davidson, can you give her a hand, please? And of course, we have a number of awesome city of Seaside's finest here. And one person that I have seen just do such a great job as he parachuted into our community and just hit the ground running and starting to do wonderful things in Seaside. And he'll be speaking in a few moments. That's Greg McDowell, City Manager. Next to him, Ed. I think we met, as I said, at an event at some point in time. I did not know you had such a long, in-depth law enforcement background as well, but soon found that out. You're a city Monterey council member. We have one of our firefighters that have taken off his time today. He's still working, actually, wanting to represent North County Fire Protection District when the youth of Promise were, some of them going to Uganda to share information with those children there. They put together 52 packets of fire safety protection information to provide, packets to provide them. So thank you, and thank you for representing North County Fire. And I assume I've met you for the first time, sir. Your first name and your last name. So I would guess it's sergeant or officer. Well, the officers are special. And from the city of San City, and it's my first time meeting you today. Thank you for coming. As I said, there's a lot of other people here that are, you're all dignitaries to me, Luis, and I mean, everyone, the links, my link sisters that are here. Miss Ruthie Watts, you can't not overlook the big person that has really done so much in our community. Past president of the Links Incorporated, Ms. Hill, Links Hill. Current president-elect and is a good friend as well, my Links sister, Ms. Nagat from CSUMB. And of course, you've met the pastor and the first lady of the First Baptist Church of Pacific Grove, Ms. Thelma Phillips. And on that note, I want to, is there anyone that I've missed that came in when I didn't see you?
Lisa Mitchell.
Oh my goodness, of course. Lisa Mitchell, Annalisa Mitchell, please. Everybody knows Annalisa. And then let me go ahead and also say Regina Mason. I was trying to cut to the chase, but now that you've done that, let me just not forget other people from the NAACP, Ed Armstrong, Mr. Barnett, Brenda Thomas. Have you ever have heard her saying it's a wonderful experience, of course. My GM in the North County, Mr. Alex Lopez. We also have a partner in Buffalo Wild Wings, and they'll be helping to feed us later here. Miss Bianca Galvan, the general manager of Buffalo Wild Wings. They're just 3 minutes away. So know that if you enjoy this food, feel free to partake in the future. They stepped up and said, let us help you do this today. And so I really think that was a wonderful thing. And she's brought at least 3 staff with her as well. And without going on too much longer, you know, my definite additional people that have worked so hard in the community, Gwen Nash, Debbie Anthony, and Ms. Coleman. So if I missed you before the day is over, I'll see if I can mention. Pardon? I believe I said Mel Mason earlier on, didn't I? Yes, okay. Yeah, but let's do it again. Yes, he deserves another. And of course, our liaison from CSUMB, Kaya Fennell, helping to assist me today. And she just mentioned that Mr. Lyndon Tarver, president of the NAACP, just walked in the room, so let's give him a big old hand. Thank you. All right, this is important. City of Seaside, City Manager Greg McDaniel. He's done so much here in this community in a short amount of time that he's been here. You can start coming on up, we'll clap for you when you get here. Greg still serves as City Manager of the City of Seaside, California. His role is assumed in March of 2025. With more than 20 years of local government involvement since 2009. He brings experience, economic development, infrastructure investment, downtown revitalization, just a number of awesome awards that he's won in the past. He had received an award, a public service award from Northwest Missouri State University. I've been there, wonderful place, Alumni Association, and being named one of 50 Missourians you should know, and a member of the under 40 class of 2020 by Ingram's magazine. He serves as president of the International Town and Gown Association and as a member of the National League of Cities Universities. He is just an awesome person, has a master's of public administration from the University of Missouri, Kansas City, and has an emphasis in urban development. Urban development is very, very important, and I'm seeing him doing a lot of really wonderful things in the city of Seaside. Great.
Good afternoon. I want to thank Jacqueline Simon and everybody who's worked to put this community meeting together, the 5th Annual George Floyd Community Engagement and Building Bridges Symposium. I'm honored to be here, and I appreciate the theme of today, which is next steps. Jacqueline said keep it real, so before I say anything else in this conversation, I want to acknowledge the perspective that I bring to this conversation, the correct perspective I do not bring to this conversation. You know, I am a white man whose career was largely shaped in rural Missouri before I had the privilege of becoming Seaside City Manager. I do not know the lived experience of a black man who wonders whether an interaction with law enforcement will become dangerous. I do not know the experience or the fear carried by a parent who must explain to their child that they may be treated differently due to the color of their skin. It would be wrong for me to stand here and claim any relevance to those experiences. My responsibility is different. My responsibility as city manager and as a community leader is to listen, it's to learn and to be accountable to the institutions that I help lead, and to ensure that our words are reflected in our policies, in our budgets, in our trainings, and our daily actions. 6 years ago, when George Floyd was murdered, I was serving as the city manager of Maryville, Missouri, a rural community that was approximately 90% white. Within days, our mayor, our entire city council, our director of public safety, and myself signed a public statement condemning the actions that took George Floyd's life. The statement acknowledged systemic oppression in law enforcement. It committed our organization to mandatory de-escalation training, trauma-informed interview training, a requirement that officers intervene against unnecessary or inappropriate treatment, and the incorporation of diversity and inclusion goals into our officers' performance and expectations. We wrote that our responsibility was to listen, to educate, and to turn those words into decisive action. Looking back, I've carried 2 lessons from that experience. The first is that every community, no matter its demographics, has a responsibility to confront injustice. George Floyd's murder was not only a Minneapolis issue, it was not only an urban issue, it was not only an issue for communities with larger black populations, it was a human issue. It was a leadership issue, it was an institutional issue, and it forced every community, including mine, to ask whether our policies, our training, and our culture and leadership were worthy of the trust that our residents were placed into us. The second lesson is harder. I worry that 6 years later, I suspect it would be much more difficult to have that statement signed today by that community. I would obtain that buy-in as public empathy has become harder to express in many rooms. That doesn't mean people have become incapable of compassion. I believe that most people still want safe neighborhoods, accountable institutions, respectful dialogue, and communities where everyone can belong. But too many of us, too many of our screens, our headlines, our algorithms, our public voices reward outrage more than understanding. Too often they encourage us to see one another first through the lenses of conflict, suspicion, politics, race, class, ideology, and before we see each other as community members, before we see each other as humans, before we see each other as neighbors. Too often there's an intention and profit to keeping people angry, and too often national voices model contempt rather than compassion. The local communities do not have that luxury of being permanently divided, nor the desire to be. We must share the same streets, we send our kids to the same schools, we must rely on the same first responders, we must care for our parks, neighborhoods, businesses, and public spaces all together. And whether we agree on every national debate or not, we still have to decide what community and what kind of people we're going to be to one another. That's why gatherings like this matter, and the words next steps matter. In Seaside, our next steps cannot be just commemorative, they must be operational. They must be visible in how we serve young people, how we train our officers, how we investigate cases, how we expend public dollars, and how we build trust over time. Under the leadership of Police Chief Nick Borges, the Seaside Police Department continues to do this work. The department continues an active partnership with the youth diversion programs through the Seaside Youth Resource Center, helping keep local youth out of the criminal justice system and connected to opportunity. The department has strengthened its youth cadet program, now involving 10 cadets, to inspire Seaside youth and expose them to leadership, service, and long-term success. Officers are participating in early outreach, including reading opportunities with early elementary age children, because trust is not created in the moments of crisis. It's created when trust is built early through positive and consistent relationships. The department has also prioritized unsolved homicide cases, including a dedicated focus to cases involving young victims of color, because no family should feel like their loss receives any less urgency because of race, age, neighborhood, and circumstance. And Seaside has continued investing in de-escalation training, policy modernization, and national community outreach training through the PLESIT program, which stands for the Professionalizing Law Enforcement Community Engagement Training. I'm not here to suggest in any fractional way that the work is done. It's simply that we are trying to make the work real, measurable, and sustained. And this responsibility is not the responsibility of law enforcement alone. In response to the impact of May 25th, 2020, the City of Seaside established a community social services grant program. Since that time, the city has awarded 43 awards, awarding more than $2.5 million to 19 community-serving organizations. Those organizations are focused on youth development, mental health, education, public safety, housing advocacy, community building, recreation, and other essential services. In this proposed upcoming budget year, another $400,000 has been preserved for that work. That investment is especially meaningful because the city is confronting a structural budget deficit of approximately $1.5 million. We have made significant reductions, we have frozen 22 positions, and we have faced difficult conversations about what must be reduced, what must be deferred, and what should be done differently. But we have preserved officer training and leadership training. We have preserved the community social services grant funding. Those choices matter. Budgets are not just financial documents, they're a statement of priorities, and during difficult financial times, it would be easy to call community investment an optional expense. It would be easy to treat training, outreach, accountability, and the social services as items that we'll revisit when the work and the finances improve. Seaside has chosen a different path. We have said that accountability is not optional. Training is not optional. Community partnership is not optional. Investing in people and organizations closest to doing that work is not optional. And again, that does not mean that our work is finished. It means that we must understand the next steps of the work so we can continue. I want to say that many people in this room have been carrying this work for a long time. Leadership also means listening to those who have been closest to the pain. They are often closest to the solutions. George Floyd deserved an ordinary human dignity of returning home alive. His legacy asks more of us than just remembrance. It asks our institutions to be honest. It asks our leaders to choose courage over comfort. It asks for our communities to reject the voices that profit from division. And it asks each of us to help build a future where dignity and justice, safety and belonging are not promises reserved for some, but protections for all. So as we consider this next step, my hope is simple, that we continue listening, we continue investing, we continue demanding accountability from our institutions and compassion from ourselves. And we must remember that building bridges is not just the work of one symposium, one policy, one department, or one leader. It's the work of a community together under the glory of God and its guidance. Thank you.
So I'm a Christian, so as soon as I hugged him, I said, Jesus. I mean, did you really hear everything that he said? And that's what we need to have, is public officials that are in the position to help make change. We all need to support those that do that. Because sometimes when they speak out and speak up, you have, as he mentioned, community members or other people that have another narrative and agenda to have us not realize those words and those efforts. So I so thank you for that, and just to be very serious. We have at least 3 other countries that have been working with us. They heard that, and that's the kind of information that they need to hear. 2 years ago, when Chief Borges stood here and gave a rousing, wonderful, similar speech in regards to what he observed, we ended up getting more people online just because of the honesty that people have when they're standing here and sharing their truth and what they plan on doing. So I'm an elected as well, take an oath of office to do that, and for those that do that, thank you for continuing to. So he certainly did. So just one more hand, thank you. Appreciate it. The next person that normally would be here speaking would be Dr. Gene Holloway. Those of you that know him, he's been working with me for the past 5 years in these programs. He's not here today. There's been a death in the family, and he literally called yesterday and shared that it'd be best that he be with their family, and I agree with that. So if we, just a moment of silence for him and his family and those that are grieving that person's loss. If we would, please just bow your heads for a moment. Thank you. And what I will do is share some of the information that he was. And if someone could hit the lights, we'll have Wes White share the PowerPoint presentation that Dr. Holloway and I will share with you. Pictures taken, we have hundreds, but these from 5 years of celebrating and learning from George Floyd and the effort of community engagement with policing within Monterey County, as well as working with those individuals internationally and throughout the United States. Many colleges are dialed in. Last year we had over 800 people. Hopefully this year we'll have more. So if you can turn the lights off, we'll put this on. It's about 3 minutes, and it'll show you real time what it is we do, how we engage. A very important thing to think about is it's public safety officer, peace officers from Monterey and from Seaside with children from Seaside, Marina, Castroville, Pacific Grove, and many other places. So I will let Wes put that on when he has an opportunity. Let's give Wes White a hand. He's always volunteering, helping us keep it up. Okay, I think it's cycled through. All right, thank you. Let's give a hand to those students. And those of you that are in this room, that are in that video in the past 5 years, and those of you that have started in the past 2 years, learning how to play pickleball at the Monterey Center, as well as those that have been all over the city of Seaside, Marina, Castroville. You know, I'm so honored for the young people to do something that Mayor Oglesby and I stated maybe about 3 years ago, and actually Mel Mason as well, from the Village Project, is we need to get more of our kids together from different cultures because we all have so much in common. You agree? Yes? We can learn from each other, and that's what this is about. It's police officers partnered with youth, teaching them how to play pickleball. It's youth teaching police officers what they like about their favorite teams or sports or futures, in higher education and getting input. So that program is 9 months a year, and we do different types of events just to have people learn more about each other. So the words I think I can put to the picture is simply community engagement, building bridges, because some of the students at the time said they did not want to have anything to do with a police officer because of what they see on TV, because of what they see in the movies, because of what people just, TikTok, social media, whatever it is, trying to cause them to feel badly about a situation that they may not know anything about. So what we try to do is keep it real, making sure that people truly understand whatever that is about, and in all of our activities, we give them an opportunity to talk to us about it so that we can then learn more about it. So then when we are in that situation, we don't react to it, we respond to it. Educationally, experientially, and just having a space to have the conversation. So that's what the program's about. We are engaged in other countries now, other states, other communities. Right now, a number of police systems are online, giving us an opportunity to take a look at what we're doing because they are interested in looking at how that can happen as well. So I'm saying hello to them as well today. So on that note, I would like to bring up our next speaker. And I mentioned you before, Yvonne Thomas, a walking legend already, and she's so young. She just is, if you've ever heard her speak, it's phenomenal. Truth to power, everyone understands, you can relate to the information, and it helps to make us better in what we do. So Yvonne, would you please come up, and could we always give her a rousing hand? 5 years she's done this.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is truly an honor to stand before you once again as part of this important gathering. To be invited back for the 5th consecutive year at the George Floyd Symposium is something I do not take lightly. Each year we come together for more than remembrance. We come together for reflection, for accountability, for healing, for truth, and most importantly, for action. 5 years ago, the murder of George Floyd forced America to confront realities that Black communities have lived with for generations. His death was painful. It was traumatic. It was unacceptable. And while his final words, "I can't breathe," became a rallying cry heard around the world, the true challenge was never simply about hearing those words. The challenge was deciding what we were going to do afterward. Would we remain divided? Would we retreat into fear, anger, and distrust? Or would we commit ourselves to doing the difficult work of transforming systems, rebuilding relationships, and creating safer communities for everyone? That work continues today. And here in Seaside and throughout Monterey County, I've witnessed firsthand what can happen when communities choose engagement over isolation and dialogue over silence. I am honored and proudly serve as Vice Chair of the City of Seaside Community Safety Advisory Commission, the Community at-Large member of the Monterey County Juvenile Justice Commission, and co-chair of the Monterey County District Attorney's Multicultural Council. Let me be clear. Building bridges with law enforcement does not mean abandoning accountability. It does not mean forgetting history. It does not mean ignoring injustice. And it certainly does not mean excusing misconduct when it occurs. What it does mean is recognizing that sustainable public safety cannot exist without trust between the community and those sworn to protect it. Trust is not demanded. Trust is earned. And earning that trust requires transparency, consistency, humility, listening, and relationship building from all sides. Over the past several years, I've had the opportunity to engage with community leaders, activists, educators, youth advocates, elected officials, and members of law enforcement throughout this county. I have seen difficult conversations take place. I've seen walls begin to come down. I've seen police officers sit in rooms and genuinely listen to the lived experiences of Black and brown residents. And I've seen young people who once felt invisible begin to recognize their own power and potential. That matters. Because real change does not happen only in Washington, D.C. It happens in community centers. It happens in churches. It happens in schools. It happens around dinner tables. It happens during honest conversations between neighbors. And yes, it even happens when communities and law enforcement sit down together with a shared commitment to making things better. Today, I especially want to recognize the importance of the Youth of Promise and the Public and Peace Safety Officer Ambassadors. These young people represent exactly what this movement should always be about: hope, leadership, courage, vision, and opportunity. Too often, society only engages young people after something has gone wrong. But programs like these engage them before the crisis. They affirm their value. They develop leadership. They expose them to careers, mentorship, civic engagement, and public service. That is how you interrupt cycles. That is how you change futures. Our youth are simply the leaders of tomorrow. They are leaders right now. And when young people see themselves reflected in positions of leadership, when they are invited into conversations about justice and public safety, and when they feel heard instead of feared, entire communities benefit. We also must acknowledge an uncomfortable truth. There is still deep pain and distrust in many communities when it comes to policing in America. That pain did not appear overnight, and it will not disappear overnight either. But healing, that requires participation. We cannot build stronger communities if we refuse to speak to one another. We cannot demand better outcomes without remaining engaged in the process. And we cannot create lasting reform without both community pressure and community partnership. Accountability and engagement are not opposites. They must coexist. We should absolutely continue advocating for equitable policing, civil rights protections, transparency, and justice reform. But we must also invest in relationships that humanize one another instead of demonizing one another. Because when communication disappears, fear fills the vacuum. And fear has never built healthy communities. What gives me hope today is that I continue to see people willing to do the work. I see young people stepping into leadership. I see community organizations creating opportunities. I see residents right here in this room becoming more civically engaged. I see conversations taking place that would not have happened 5 years ago. And I see many public safety professionals genuinely trying to rebuild trust and strengthen relationships within the communities they serve. Progress may not always move as quickly as we want. Sometimes it can feel frustratingly slow. Sometimes it feels incomplete. But progress is still possible when people remain committed. George Floyd's legacy should never be reduced to a hashtag, a mural, or a moment in history. It should not be joked about, as it was on the Kevin Hart roast on Netflix a few weeks ago. His legacy should challenge us to continuously ask ourselves, how do we create communities where every person feels seen, valued, respected, and safe? That responsibility belongs to all of us. So to the community, stay engaged, stay informed, and stay involved. To our young people, your voice matters. Your future matters. And your leadership matters. To the law enforcement and public safety leaders, please continue showing up, continue listening, continue building trust through action, not words alone. And to everyone gathered here today, never underestimate the power of relationship building, because bridges are not built in a single moment. They're built conversation by conversation, action by action, person by person. Today is not only about remembering tragedy. It is about honoring resilience. It is about recognizing growth. It is about celebrating progress. And it is about recommitting ourselves to the work that still lies ahead. 5 years after George Floyd's death, the question before us is not whether we remember his name. The question is whether we are willing to continue the work his death demanded of us. Will we continue building bridges where others build walls? Will we continue choosing courage over comfort? Will we continue creating opportunities for young people to lead? Will we continue holding systems accountable while also building relationships capable of producing lasting change? Because justice is not a destination, it is a responsibility. A responsibility we inherit from those who came before us, and one we must pass on to those who will come after us. George Floyd should be remembered, not only for how he died, but for what his death inspired millions of people to do, to speak up, to show up, to get involved, and to believe that change is possible. So let us leave here today with more than inspiration. Let us leave with purpose. Let us leave with commitment. Let us leave determined to build communities where every child feels valued, every resident feels respected, and every person is treated with dignity. Because long after the headlines fade, long after the cameras are gone, and long after the symposium concludes, the work remains. And history will not judge us by what we said in this room today. History will judge us by what we choose to do next. Thank you.
I just said she needs to write a book, right? Yes? You know, and I really am so happy to have sat there and listened and made notes, the teacher in me, each and every area that is so important to us, to the youth of promise and the peace and public safety officers. We talk about this and have for 5 years, and it's awesome to have someone put it all together and share it with you. So Yvonne, Thomas, you're just phenomenal. Thank you for your honesty, your truth to power, and coming every year. I know when I call around this time, you're like, yes, you know, what are we doing now? So thank you again. Give you another hand, please. Okay, great. Now we're going to have two perspectives that we've never really had, and I believe a lot of times people don't utilize these very, very important, powerful perspectives that can happen in conversations. And that is to involve universities, students. Right now in this room, I have several that I either mentor at CSUMB and MISS and Monterey Peninsula College Hartnell that are out there doing the good work in the community, as well as individuals that are in the religious community. I really believe we really need to have the religious community involved in this discussion. Do you agree? Yeah. And that's why I invited Pastor Phillips, Victor Phillips, to come and speak briefly in reference to that, as well as Kaya Fennell, a student at CSUMB and is a community organizer within the institutions that we're working in to help make a better place. So they're going to come up and they'll be sitting at these tables here. And yes, so can you give them a hand? And as they're preparing, in fact, can we have someone lift this? Yeah, great, thank you, Wes. Let's give Wes a hand again. He's just a man that has a lot of jobs. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. And as he's doing that, I want to just also just say, it's so awesome to have so many awesome, wonderful organizations here. Please give a hand to the NAACP. And I have a question. How many of you in this room are NAACP members? Raise your hand, please. That's good. How many of you would like to be an NAACP member? Raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, please come up and speak to them at the end of our session. As Ms. Thomas said, communication, supporting each other, having the dialogue is important. And that's what we are doing at NAACP, evolving to the next levels. So thank you, NAACP, for what you do. I also want to mention there's been people that have come all the way down from Northern California here to be with us today. The CAST Action Alliance, it's a group of wonderful individuals that have been a part of a book club that invited me to be a guest speaker, and then I became a book club member, and it was prior to George Floyd being murdered. Hate to say it like that, but that's what it was. And during that time, they were involved with the Harriet Tubman Church, and found out more of what we were doing and started attending. And they're here today, so please give a hand for Matt Hammond and Carmen Williams from the Past Action Lines. Of course, everyone knows, Links Incorporated, all the wonderful work they do internationally, and 17,000 of us within the world doing good work. The work that normally people aren't aware of, because we just go out and we do it. They just go out and do it. At the end of the day, it's about helping to give back in service. So thank you for that. The Village Project, as you know, they are everywhere all the time. What's that movie? It sort of sounds like that movie. Everywhere, all at once, and anytime they can make a difference, they're here. Please, Mel Mason, Regina Mason. And on that note, we're going to start our dialogue. So in a few moments of conversation, I'm going to have both Pastor Phillips just share how we've had discussions, and we've had discussions with the community, that there needs to be a message and opportunity and dialogue with the religious community, because I believe it can help make change. And if you could just go ahead and open by sharing what you believe that might be and how we might do it, and how we can support that effort if we in fact believe in it. Pastor Phillips. Push the little button.
I think I've just been put on the spot, y'all. Good evening, everyone. I share a Christian perspective on why we're here today. I was blessed with the opportunity to travel to West Africa this past December. So I packed all of my winter clothes and got on the plane, 17 hours of traveling, only to find out they're in their summer down there. So there I was, sweat dripping down. But I was there on a mission. I was there to visit one of our sister churches by the same name, First Baptist Church in Monrovia, Liberia. And it was a master class in life. It reminded me of some of the things we're going through here in the States, and how much we need each other, and how much we need to collaborate with our community. I saw a lot of things I don't see here, and I saw the togetherness of the people. And I did learn that they were in the aftermath of a civil war. And so there was civil war things all around me, holes in buildings, areas bombed out, people living in abject poverty. And so it encouraged me to come back and share with many of you that we really need to come together as a people. Not because of the color of our skin, and not because of how we were raised, but we need to come together for the future's sake. We have a lot of work to get done here, and we don't really have time for games and playing foot fancy. We need to get down to business and come together and work together. And so when Sister Jacqueline came to me, I said, yes, I think I can work with you. I think we can get more done together than separately. And I want to encourage all of you to do that. Let's really come together and get this work done together, because we only have a few days left, to tell the truth. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Every person in here is going to expire. And so let's get our work done before we expire. Thank you.
Amen to that. Thank you so much, Pastor. Now, awesome student and leader in the community, as well as one of our coordinators of our special programs and liaison to CSUMB, Cal State University of Monterey Bay. Ms. Fennell, would you please just give us your perspective on the educational side and how we might be able to work together or include, as we have here today, a number of students, several that have graduated as well, and they've already decided to volunteer and be a part of us. But, you know, as far as policing, as far as conversation, how can students and education be a part of this? Do you believe may be able to happen or not?
Thank you. Can you guys hear me? I talk really quiet in the mic, sorry. I'm not a public speaker like many of the people here, so give me a little bit of grace. Thank you for inviting me here today, Ms. Simon. I'm Kaya Fidel. I'm a philosophy and ethics major. I like the studying ethics and how we interact with each other. Social interaction is the most interesting thing to me. When we discuss policing, something that our city manager brought up that really warmed my heart is that we're investing in dysfunction before it turns into delinquency. If we don't address dysfunction, it turns into delinquency, and we have to punish it, or that's how we address it, through punitive actions. So when we address dysfunction, we can do that in the schools. When Ms. Jackson's doing that with her programs, we're catching them in middle school and high school as problems are developing, and giving them the resources to be able to address these issues before they turn into issues that we're dealing with the police. I'll say I'm working with Ms. Jacqueline and many other students at CSUNB to start a collegiate chapter of the NAACP, because I would like every student, but specifically every Black student in Monterey County, when they graduate from high school, but really when they graduate from our university and our colleges, that they're leaving with a tool belt of resources to be able to access the workforce and know that they are going to be advocated for. We can't prevent dysfunction, but we can address it. We can't stop bad apples from joining police forces, but we can know that when those situations arise, that they're going to be able to go to the people in charge. They're going to have the lawyers that they need, they're going to have the funding that they need, and they're going to have the confidence that they need to know that these are inequities, not normalcies. For a lot of people, bad situations with police is normalcy. That is every day. We talk about getting these notions from media, but we also get these notions from our lived experiences. These notions are because we walk every day, we've had interactions with police officers that have gone negatively. We've been in the passenger seat of our vehicle when our father's been pulled over and talked to as a little boy. We know what that feels like. And so those concepts, trusting police officers, we have to open our hearts up to them, but the police officers also have to understand these ideas didn't come from nowhere. And they're continued through generations of trauma that have come from slavery, and they've come from Jim Crow, which is not, when you think of that decades ago, the individuals that are sitting in this room, Mr. Mel Mason, Ms. Ruthie Watts, they sat through Jim Crow. They understand those things. These are not, abstract concepts. So when it comes to education, going back to the actual question I was asked, students need to be, while they're in school, understanding that they have access to the resources to address these issues when they come up, and be comfortable with their community members, comfortable with their police officers, and see their police officers as community members. Many children, many students don't see their police officers as community members. They see them as a part of the surveillance force. They see them as someone who is there to make sure that they stay in line, but not that they stay safe, and not that they go home safe. So making sure that we recognize our community members as police officers as part of our community. And that responsibility is both on the community in welcoming in the police officers, and police officers and their behaviors when they're in the community. Okay, I'm done now, thank you.
Good job. Good job. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Now's the time that we can have an opportunity. We have a wired mic. Does anyone have any questions in reference to these two areas, religion and education, being a part of this discussion? I just believe it's so very important. Anyone have any questions related to that? We have a wired mic. Oh, great. You understand? Gus, we got a, there it is. Thank you. Mr. Mel Mason, please step in. Can you stand, sir? So everybody can see you.
I think I can.
Okay, oh no, I'm sure you could, sorry. I didn't mean it like that.
Good afternoon, everyone, and it's a great presentation, both by Pastor and my sister. I'm going to roll to CSUMB because here recently, and myself and others here were a part of a protest out of CSUMB around racism and racism that was being exacted against the students, against you all. And one, I just want to say how much I appreciate how you all rose up. I appreciate it also having been invited to be part of it. On the question of police, and oftentimes we forget that CSUMB has a police department. And they always like to make the point of, we're not security guards, we're police. But could you talk to us about how you see working with the police at CSUMB, especially when they were not cooperative with you all, in investigating all of these complaints of racist attacks against black students? Is there a way you see moving forward with working with them to help them become better? Or what is your answer for that situation out there? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I wanted to acknowledge some of the students who were much more involved in that demonstration are in this room. Matthew Sanders was very involved in putting together that demonstration. I just want to give him his flowers. He's a graduate. And Elise as well, here sitting in the back of the room, she's with the HRC. Just wanted to give them that acknowledgement. But when it comes to working with university police officers, I will say when it comes to the university police officers, I've had so many positive interactions with individual officers. What tends to be a problem is from an administrative and systemic issue. And so that comes from the actual, I believe, stakeholders and the board at the school and the rules and the constrictions that they have. Many times when I've gone to police officers on the university, I do feel like they have put in effort for training to have officers who are aware that they're working with students in the context of the campus that they're on. Again, I think a lot of the issues that I've dealt with have been systemic and coming from things that are written down on pieces of paper that haven't been changed over decades. So.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, ma'am. Carmen Williams from Cast Action Alliance.
Hello, everyone. My question is for the pastor. I feel like religion does play a big role in our society in general. Our country was founded with the belief in God. And I would like to know, what are the churches now doing as far as being involved with making sure that we see this not as so much of a division as it is what God would expect for us to do, and that is to love each other. Because the root of all of this is if you love, then you're not going to hurt. Because you don't hurt people that you love. And what are we doing as Christians, as churches, in the community to try to address this and try to get people to really see what the real root of all of this is us seeing each other as people and loving each other.
Good question. Pastor?
So if I understand correctly, what are the churches doing? Is that what you asked me?
Yes.
Well, we're facing the fact that there is problems. And so we're owning up to that. And the pastors, we have come together with a collaboration. Let's band together and address the issue. And the first step is non-violence. We don't want to get in a fist fight, or any type of pushing and shoving due to disagreements. We don't want any of that, because that's not the answer. That won't lead to a better world. But we want to address the problems head on, face them, call them what they are. If it's racism, if it's Jim Crow laws, let's call it what it is. And then let's talk about it, and then let's sound the alarm to let others know It's time out for that type of behavior. We're not going to stand for those laws anymore. So as a pastor, that's what I'm promoting in my congregation. Peaceful protest, non-violent, but let's face it. Thank you.
So I want us to get back to our schedule, but I thought this was a very important area to have this year, and it'll have an opportunity to grow, and anyone interested in participating in our stakeholders programs, please be in touch with Ms. Fennell or Pastor Phillips, because we're working together. We've already developed it. He's provided, and Sister First Lady Thelma Phillips provided us opportunity for at the Pacific Grove Church to meet, greet, eat. They really great meals, the whole thing, just all of us together, in the sense of love and care, and everything is really that way. So thank you so much. Can you give them a hand? Thank you. Now we have an opportunity to do something really special. As Ms. Yvonne Thomas shared, how awesome and important it was to have, the students be here and be acknowledged for all the good that they're doing, for the coordinators and volunteers, volunteering your time, your effort, from your families, from the first responders, and those in the policing industry and the firefighting industry. And as Ms. Thomas mentioned, we involve everyone in our activities. It isn't simply a law enforcement issue, it's a community-involved opportunity to meet people. We had students originally that didn't want to have anything to do with police, and then we said, hey, just grow up, go to school, and become a police. Show us how it's done. And honestly, many students did decide that. So we have those that are interested in going into law enforcement now. So there's a way to make this happen. And we have to think outside the box. Well, the box is gone, the chip is gone. We're in a virtual world now. Would you agree? AI and all that's on the internet. So however you receive your information, make sure it's information, if it's solid and if it's something workable, share it with others. This is all volunteer effort. It's all for the greater good, I believe. And I believe that everything happens for a reason and a purpose. And that's something that I am trying to attempt to continue to do here. Though this started from an awful, awful experience, look where it is now. And I absolutely 110% believe that it saves lives. Because in every training we have that you saw in the video, in every training with the youth as well as with the police officers, I start by saying, I want all of you to get home safe at night. All of you. Because everyone has a place in this. There are some awesome, wonderful, in 4 decades of work I've done with reentry and policing and federal probation system, Santa Clara County probation, local Monterey County parole and probation. I've met a lot of great cops, a lot of great police officers, peace officers, public officers. But then there's a few every once in a while that seep in that make the name worse for the others that are out there putting their lives on the line and doing their job in the manner of which Protect and Serve represents. So we need to make sure we honor those that are making it happen, doing the right thing, and we need to also call out those that aren't. And I think doing deep dives into social media just to find out where that effort might be coming from, if it's negative, because you never want to have a person that came to that job and give them a badge and a gun and then allow them to be in the community. But as I say, please hear me. There's so many more that aren't than there is. So one hand for those in law enforcement that are doing the best job I believe possible. many of you online and that I've been speaking to the last month and a couple of days that are dialed in. Thank you for your service, and we appreciate that. So give those people online a hand. All right, now we have a special opportunity to award some of the individuals that have made this happen and that work together for the greater good. Please, if I can have Erin Elizabeth Davison come up, please. She is District Operations, Monterey County District Office of Congressman Jimmy Panetta. And I just want to say, I've been working with her for 5 years on these efforts. Thank you so much. I think for taking the time to come in on this Sunday and help us make this happen.
Good afternoon, everyone. As Ms. Simon said, my name is Erin Davison, and I am the Director of District Operations for your U.S. Representative, Congressman Jimmy Panetta. He does regret not being able to be here today, and if you'll forgive me as I say a bunch of I statements, I'm going to read this letter that he wrote to all of you in recognition of this event. But before I do that, I would ask the audience to give another round of applause for Ms. Simon and all of her work putting on this event. She's up here giving a lot of praise to a lot of other folks, so I just want to make sure that you get your flowers too. So from Congressman Panetta to the community of Seaside, California, as a U.S. representative for California's 19th Congressional District, I am honored to recognize the organizers and participants of the 5th Annual George Floyd Community Engagement and Building Bridges Symposium. Bringing together educators, law enforcement, and community leaders for conversations like the ones here today is vital for advancing our work to safeguard the civil rights and liberties of every American, from Seaside to Paso Robles, to Santa Cruz to South San Jose, and across every corner of our district and our country. We have constantly been reminded in recent years that these liberties cannot be taken for granted. They must be fought for and protected. And coming together today is an important reminder that it takes a community-wide effort to protect our civil rights. I am proud to have joined my colleagues in reintroducing the George Floyd Justice in Policing Act in Congress to bolster transparency within law enforcement and strengthen our legal systems. Though the act has not yet passed, our fight to ensure that all Americans are treated fairly under the law does not stop. As your federal representative in Congress, I know that it is the duty of the federal government to help ensure that future generations of Americans inherit a more just and equitable society. Shaping that vision into reality requires sustained action, partnership, and vigilance from all levels of government and community. Today at this symposium, we continue the dialogue and the groundwork to further that goal. I commend you for using your voices to stand up for justice, and I look forward to making progress in our work together to ensure that all members of California's 19th Congressional District and all members of our country are treated fairly and safely under the law. So, Ms. Simon, I'd like to give you a copy of this.
So a little while ago, you heard a number of speakers refer to this process for which we, our committee, decided to make sure we acknowledged these two cities, these two departments, these two law enforcement departments, both Seaside and Monterey. Why? Because it takes not one department or one entity, it takes all of them working together for the greater good to have it be accomplished. Do you agree with that? Yes? With that in mind, it takes the city council to agree that something needs to change and or whatever's working, you continue to support it. It takes the mayor to decide, yeah, I need to help take care of my city. It takes a city manager to be on board because they're working with law enforcement. And it takes a chief that gets it and that implements that special program in their community for the greater good. So the city of Monterey has done that exemplary this past year. I worked with your chief, Chief Hover, David Hover. He's, I believe, in Tennessee or somewhere like that right now. And that to me shares and tells me that all of you working together accomplished this goal together. And if one of your entities chose not to, it would not have been as successful. That is my true belief. So it is in that honor that we acknowledge cities, councils, mayors, and chiefs of police supported by their city manager to protect and serve their community. And these two cities have done that tremendously. So if we can give a hand to our Monterey and to the city of Seaside. So we can have Greg, if you can come up as the city manager of Seaside. So, Aaron, if you want to come up. I guess we can And now we'll have the city of Monterey, sir. Mr. Ben Smith, that's a big one. I'd ask him to say a few words, if you would.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to ask you if I could go off script.
Yes.
You know, you never want to pass up a chance if you're a politician in microphone. So hats off to this organization. I just want to say on behalf of the men and women of both the Seaside Police Department and the Monterey Police Department that they are the ones that embrace this attitude. They're the ones that embrace the willingness to go where it might be a little nervous, a little bit uncomfortable. But to acknowledge where pain is, to acknowledge that we can learn from everyone and take the bridges and build them and take the fences down. So hats off to both organizations, to their leaders, Chief Nick Borges, and to our chief from Monterey, Dave Hover. He's been traveling, his apologies, he couldn't be here. But I want to go a little off script, not take too much of your time. I started my police career in Seaside when, Nell, you were a young man. And I was a young man. But Seaside was a wonderful place for me to come and work. Coming out of college, I was born and raised in Pacific Grove. I was a young, sharp guy that could run like the wind, like Mel. Well, I learned how to work with the community in Seaside. I learned from this community. And as I wanted to expand my career, I went to Monterey. I didn't leave Monterey because I was mad or because I didn't like the community. I left because I wanted to ride a motorcycle, and Seaside didn't have motorcycles. And I wanted to do more in my career. So fast forward, I'm still in the same house for 43 years. My wife and I celebrate 53 years this June. I always felt part of my duty was to be transparent, that everybody would know who I was and what I stood for. And I think consistency is the number one thing that has led to my success. And to those that I see that are in law enforcement, it is consistency. It is truthfulness. It is transparency. And it is courage to speak up and stand up for their communities and not allow bad where it exists anywhere. And we only advance our culture and our society when we do not tolerate the evil or the bad. When good people step up, that's how we cure humanity's problems. But thank you for your work here. I'll be back next year. And I appreciate all the work from all of public safety, and that also includes fire and police and campus security in CSUMB police as well. So hats off to Seaside PD and Monterey PD for their partnership to be able to work together to help both communities. Thank you.
We want to honor Sam City. He was sitting right there a moment ago. Is he still here? Well, how about you come on up and take the picture and get on the video of honoring City of Sam City. I always want to make sure I say that right, the City of Sam City. Awesome community, wonderful new chief over there, Chief Honda. And of course, Marion Carbone is just an awesome person of the community, so appreciate that. We have a special award for that department. Okay. And of course, before I found out that our mayor was not mayor of Seaside, Oglesby wasn't able to attend, we certainly still wanted to acknowledge him for his leadership and what he does as a mayor. I see him everywhere. You know me and how much I'm involved in the community, right? I see him there and even in other places. All communities, regardless of race, creed, color, gender. He's just there supporting community. We wanted to make sure we acknowledge that today. So, City Manager, would you come and Dave Pacheco? So Seaside City Council is a part of this too. So Dave, you gotta do it. Take your time. We want you in the picture. No worries. Is there any other city council members here from, okay, I believe they're all down with the southern part of Monterey in an event. I'm not elected, I should be there too, but I wanted to definitely be here.
That's not holy right.
All righty then, thank you so much. Just give yourselves a hand for patience and... Okay, this is important. The students, the ambassadors that give their time, energy, and effort, and an ambassador involves others. And so that's what these students are doing. We're going to be acknowledging them right now, those that were able to be here. We have a group that currently, the Aguillon family, 5 members that are in Northern California at a tournament. So let's just give them a hand. I want them to just be on video for them to really acknowledge them. An awesome family and husband and wife, and they coach their kids. You know, children, gosh, you gotta be there for them. We gotta involve them in much, much more than the past. And I think it just makes a difference. And every time I see that happening, it just is a wonderful thing. So I want to first call up 2 of the ambassadors that are receiving special recognition because of their involvement in the ambassadorship program. They both graduated this past year from their high schools. Let's give them a hand for that. And they both continue to be a part of the ambassador program, and they help me help the younger ones get more involved and such, because they've accomplished so very much. So I'd like to call up Zaina Diallo and Commander Magat, Donald Magat, come on up and give them a hand as they're coming. And while they're coming up, please, I would like to also invite their parents up. Miss Angela Magat, would you please come up? And let someone else video your son here, please. I would like you to come. And Miss Dr. Diallo, is she not here? Okay. So we'll have Miss Magat. Please give this mom a hand. She's awesome. She does so much. One more hand for those rock stars. They are awesome. Next, as I call your name, please come on up. I know you're young. You can be your youthful. Sprint up here as fast as you can because we want to hurry up and then get in and have some of these great, wonderful culinary delights that Buffalo Wild Wings and Subway and other places provided us today. So first, Zachariah Alexander, where are you? Come on down. All right, how about have Marilyn Andrade come on down. Let's give her a hand. And for patience and making it all the way over from North County. And Byron Andrade, are you here, Byron? Yeah, let's get Byron come on up here. Yes. Right, as they're going back down, let's give them another hand. They are so great. Mari Buscamontes. Great, Mari, let's go. And you know what we were saying earlier, if you remember the video, you saw how young some of these children were. That's where you need to start the relationships with anyone in a uniform, especially law enforcement. In our training programs, we have the police officers come in their full dress, in their Kevlar vests, so these kids see them as protecting and serving them, and then having a good opportunity just to visit and learn about each other. And then there's a better opportunity if they come in contact with each other in the community at some point. Does that make sense? That is very important, so it's good to just remember that. Here we go. Winter Codrington. I want to make sure I said that correctly. Such a cool name. You know, Winter, you need to write a book. That name alone's going to sell. Next, we have Isaac Gomez. Isaac, I know you had some games. Great. Come on up. Good to see you. Thank you. All right. Put it on your wall, show your friends. It'll help you get into college and help you a whole lot of other things. One more hand for Isaac Gomez. And I'm glad to see his uncle, yes, Ramon Gomez, currently running for Board of Supervisors, I believe, yes. Thank you for having me. He's also a director with me on North County Fire Protection District. We've been able to do a lot of things in that district, raise money for apparatus, over $1 million. The new amphibious device we have over in Paha Road because of the floods, $500,000 there, just working, writing grants to make a difference, all volunteers. And I always thank you so much, Director, for supporting me and ideas that we have had. So thank you. Next we have, let's see, Rafael Magritte. Give him a, I love his name. Come on now. Next, we have Anthony Ponce. Anthony, come on down. All right. Ernest Torres. That's such a beautiful name. So let's give a hand to all those ambassadors that did a job this year. And just for the record, Ms. Diallo, Zena Diallo, has been a part of it since the inception as an ambassador. So Zena, are you still here? Stand up. She's been with us for 5 years. And what's great about that is she helps me help the others, as well as she's going to also receive another special award privately. We're going to get together with you and Commander Magat. And you'll notice some have uniforms or various dress. You know, we support the students in their efforts, whether it's we plant seeds to go on to college, we plant seeds to finish high school, we plant seeds to be part of community engagement in police departments and volunteer and do a number of things so they can have that history and experience as they make a decision in their lives later on. So I applaud you, Zena. It's awesome what you've done. Thank you so much for helping us help the others. And though you're going to be going on to college, she's going to go to Hampton University. going to be going to the University of San Diego. Also know that each of them receives full scholarship awards from 5 different colleges. That means you had to really have a very, very robust, solid program. So smile there, Mr. McGuire. There you go. Colgate's not sure. All right, thank you so much again. Okay, we're looking for the last 2 students, Dejan and Unisha. So let's just clap for them because they're part of the ambassadors. We're trying to find them. And while we're looking for this, let me go ahead and award some of the individuals that help us make this happen on many, many different levels. So these are youth ambassador coordinators and volunteers. I'm going to start calling them up, and as soon as we get the other 2, we'll have you come in as well. First person, my general manager over in North County, please, Alejandro Lopez from North County Recreation Parks District. Lanisha, we found yours, so please, Lanisha, come on up. Give her a hand for patience. Okay, next we have, and I know this name very well, this coordinator ambassador volunteer I've known for probably 15 years. Her daughter just received an award, and she's been volunteering in all efforts of places that we need to help youth, children, and college students and her name is Marissa Budwani. Please give her a hand. Good news, Dijon Ross, please come on down. Give him a hand. He's been a part of a number of our special programs, and his mom is a deputy officer that has been our guest speaker at our ambassadors program. Please just give her a hand. He's also part of the legacy of Stephen Ross, someone that my father helped to get elected as City of Seaside mayor. How many years ago, Mel?
Oh, gosh, Mr. Ross was on the council for 16 years, so it would have been about around 1980.
1980.
Yeah.
So this is wonderful. So in our programs, we also have people that are volunteering every day, picking up Subway sandwiches, bringing us various materials and things that we need to put our programs together, the activities. So I want to make sure that we acknowledge those members of the Helen Rucker Center for Black Excellence. This is Matthew Sanders from the HRC. Matthew, come on down. All right, this is another former board member and person of the community working with me on the next big, huge project in Castroville area. We brought back, on one of our boards, we brought back the Castroville Artichoke Festival, and this gentleman and his family have been a part of Castroville's history, I think 30 years, 40 years. And this is Ray Torres. Ray, come on down. He's also part of the Monterey County systems, working in an effort to help students anytime they need it. So good to see you today. And so before we move on to the rest of the volunteers, I wanted to take an opportunity to shout out to Meva Arapaka. She's a student at CSUMB. She just finished she's originally from Paris, France. She originally was a part of our program and now is back finishing up her degree in Paris, France, but we've started a program, ambassador program, and a special program for their students, similar to what we do in the sense of the NAACP. So getting communities, people of color together that would just like to talk and help each other out when there's efforts or problems in the university, or when something really great is happening. So she's online. I want to make sure she sees this. That is your name, Merva Arapaka. So can we give her a hand? And I believe it would be important to share, this is for volunteers and sponsors of the Ambassador Mentorship Program, George Floyd Community Engagement and Building Bridges Symposium, happening today, May 31st, 2026. Thank you, Ms. Arapaka. Okay, this is important. You know, we all need sponsors. So the Bianca Calvan, if you come on down, she's from the Buffalo Wild Wings organization. Is she helping to prepare right now, or is she in the building? So while we grab her, wherever she is, we'll go to the next one. Hello, Bianca, come on. And while I mention her, I think we need to also have Elizabeth Kellogg, who's helping us put together the food and the culinary delights. We might want to ask her to come in because I don't think she's in the room. Yeah. So let me put that there. When Buffalo Wild Wings said they were going to come, they said, "Can we bring our mascot?" And I said, "Absolutely." And then she gave me an opportunity to have an Oprah Winfrey moment and say that everybody in here is going to get coupons from Buffalo Wild Wings. So you get a coupon, you get a coupon, you get a coupon. You know, like Oprah Winfrey with the cars, no cars but coupons. So I'd like two people to come up here really quickly. They're from the Cass Action Alliance. This is a group that decided to do something when they saw what happened with George Floyd. I mean, when I was in that moment, I said, what could I do? Tears, screaming that whole day. I sat down and I wrote 15 reasons why that incident happened and what we could do to de-escalate and learn and deal with that for the future. Well, these individuals started reading books about the culture and the community, and so come on up. It's Carmen Williams and Matt Hammond, and they're so when bad things happen, it's just important to do something. When good things happen, it's just important to do something. Well, they really did. Every year, we give out over $25,000 to scholarships from our own pockets. It's just not fundraising, it's doing that. So we've given out over $100,000 and $108,000 in the past 5 years. So please give them a big hand. Okay, thank you again. Now we have an opportunity. I'm so glad my North County firefighter is still able to stay here because he's on schedule. That's why he's a little beeping and such. Thank you. Please come and accept this North County Fire Protection District Award from Congressman Floyd. You know, first responders, God, they're like angels. And they're in every area, nursing, teaching, policing. But it's so important to honor them because there's so much happening out there in the community, and they're the ones that are running into the buildings as opposed to those that might be running out. So please, just one more hand from Mike. There's so many people in the community that we could acknowledge and reward a commendation for the work they do. But this particular person just knew my parents and has been in this community forever. And like Miss Helen Rucker, were mentors for me. So Miss Ruthie Watts, would you please come on up?
Get on the floor, maybe? Come down.
Yes.
We'll come to you.
Yeah. Okay, so we received some special recognition for the volunteers that helped us with this on. And those are the people that I'm gonna call your names, and if you would just come on up, we will have the picture all done together, or as many as possible. And this is a certificate, it's a beautiful certificate. Certificate of recognition presented to Elizabeth Kellogg in honor of being a volunteer and sponsor of the George Floyd Symposium. It's stating simply that it's your commitment, it's your level of volunteerism that help us make this work, because if we didn't have you, we would have to do it all on our own. And that's a hard job. So thank you for the volunteerism for anyone that walks up here that has helped us this past year put this program together. So Ms. Kellogg, if you would come out of I think she's helping in the kitchen area set up the food. So when she gets here, we'll clap for her. This is for the NAACP of Monterey, branch 1049. Please give them a hand. Say his name. So, President Carver, are you here? Please come on down. Sweet.
All right, bro.
Also another person that has worked with us in the community, with the students, with the ambassadors, 7 or 8, maybe 9 of our Imanata children that have graduated and been a part of that program are ambassadors and part of ours. So Regina Mason, please. Thank you for that. Yes. Okay, next, and I know this person can really come up quickly. This is Mr. Thomas Spencer, one of our awesome volunteers. He helps us do everything all the time. Mr. Spencer, come on up. He's just looking at you. Okay, this is a very important commendation for someone that's been working with us, giving opportunity to have us branch out into the community and invite other people in. And this special certificate of recognition is for the First Lady, Thelma Phillips. from the First Baptist Church of Pacific Grove. An honor of being a faith healer and a person that is just volunteering and giving so much. And as she's sprinting up here, know that we have some special gifts. Well, she donated, I donated. Each of those purchases will be written to the Helen Rucker Center for Black Excellence. Every year we do that. We already have a $150 donation going to them. But before you leave today, take a look at those. All of it goes for the greater good for those students to buy books, tuition, or whatever they need at the center. She gave me an order of people that will be coming up. So give Miss Fennell a hand. She's just taking care of it. The next is, of course, we've spoken about her today. You've heard her. She's awesome. She continues to help evolve community. And that's Miss Yvonne Thomas. Special education. Next, this is one of my NAACP executive committee members that has been donating and helping and assisting us in the past 2 years. Debbie Anthony. Debbie, are you here? She's not Debbie, she's here. I thought I saw her, so we will keep this for you. So next, this is the person that you can't have one of these if you don't have one of these. And that is a person that helps you develop, put it together, make the phone calls, work with me at all hours of the night, going on lists, checking lists, removing, adding. Miss Patricia Spencer, please come up. There you are. There you go. Okay, this is a person that you've seen all day doing all kinds of wonderful things and helping us. Wes White, certificate of volunteers and 10, 12 years. So are you able to come up or
Oh, yeah.
should? There we go. This award is a very special one. This individual has been, I've known her, she knew my brother that worked in probation and parole, and my brother's passed away. However, she's worked in the community helping people, and youth and children and families, getting them back together, and just a wonderful person in general. You all know her. Annalisa Mitchell, please come. Miss Annalisa Mitchell is a community activist. She's a link, my link sisters as well in the community. She works at the prison system, giving people a second chance, re-entry, and all that goes into it. And she volunteered today here at the crack of dawn, helping us to put this together, and that's all volunteerism. So, Annalisa, thank you. Okay, now we have an opportunity to thank and award levels of commendation for the Helen Parker Center for Black Excellence. Would you please come on down? And receiving that award would be Elise Pierce, and let's have Mr. Sanders, you're part of the center as well. Come on down. Is there any other Helen Parker Center for Black Excellence students here? I see someone. Come on down. Let's get them all here. Come on, you're youthful. You can express. Okay, let's also make sure we thank and mention how awesome I have had the opportunity to work with Pastor Phillips. And we want to acknowledge you for all that you've been doing in the community and the fact that you're stepping up to work with us, with the NAACP and all these other organizations for the future of our community. So can you come on down and receive this award? Wendy Root Askew, and for education and foundation of every just society. and your dedication to the 5th Annual George Floyd Symposium by bringing your expertise, passion, and learning to vital gatherings like this. We have helped create space where knowledge becomes a tool for justice and empowerment. Your commitment reflects the values we fight for every day. The 4th District, under the auspices of Ms. Randy, we ask you, is empowering the community's equity and belief that every person deserves access to education, opportunity, and the 4th District of Monterey County are beyond grateful for your dedication and educating and uplifting the community. So every volunteer here is receiving this information. So thank you.
And then for the sake of time, we are going to start wrapping up. We want to give a special accommodation to someone else who this event wouldn't be possible without Miss Simon herself. She puts so much hard work into this community, into the promise. She invests in so many mentees in the community. Genuinely, if you call her, she will be there when it comes to pouring back into her community. And so let's just give her a round of applause for that.
Good news. It's time to enjoy some of the culinary delights. The doors are open. Please feel free. Grab your food, whatever. We're going to do the benediction. Pastor Phillips, if you can come up quickly. Sir, there we go. Pastor. Yeah.
All right, let's stand together, everyone.
What are you gonna do with these tickets?
Ruthie want to know what we're going to do with these tickets. Sure, I'll do the honors. All right, everybody ready for the first pick?
Yeah. Check them out.
I got you, Miss Ruthie, I got you. Everybody ready? Oh, it's my number. 040005. 05 at the end. Okay, we got a winner right there. No winner? Okay, nobody has last two 05? Let's pick another one.
058.
No, the last three numbers is 005. All right, these are the last three numbers of the next ticket. 977. 039977. The baby has it. Come on down, come on down. All right, we're going to pick one more. The last three numbers is 086. Okay, here he comes. All right. All right, let's match tickets. Let me see. All right, very good. Right that way. The young people are winning. That's good. Should I pick one more? All right, last one. The last three numbers are 074. All right. Your ticket? Thank you. You made it into heaven. All right, while you're standing, let's pray over the food that we're about to receive and do the benediction. I think we're all in agreement. Bow your heads with me, please. Father, we thank you for this fellowship. We thank you for all these that have attended. We thank you for your choicest blessings upon our life. Now we ask that you would bless the food, let it be nourishing to our souls and, oh God, energy to our bodies. We pray now that you dismiss us from this place, but never from your presence. It's in Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Amen.
Okay, we actually have one more award that's going to be given out to Rosie Cruz from our Ambassadors Program. Can we please give her a hand? And please feel free to go in and enjoy some of the refreshments here. Thank you.